you so much for being here. So today we are going to be discussing 15 value. Uh, good afternoon, ma. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. So today we are going to be discussing 15 value-based motivation parents can use without crossing boundaries. Okay, motivations we can use instead of resorting to the things we are doubting. Okay, what parents can do immediately that will motivate their children, that will intrinsically motivate their children instead of doing things around them for them to be motivated. Hello everyone, you're welcome to today's class. My name is Ruth Ikhabomeh. I am the founder of the Equitable Parent Hub. And today's class we are going to be talking about the 15 actions, the 15 motivations, value-based motivation you will use to make your child motivated to do what you want them to do instead of using all that, instead of crossing and breaking boundaries. Okay, welcome everyone. Hello parents. So good afternoon and welcome. If you are joining me live, thank you for being here. If you are watching the replay, I'm really glad you showed up. My name is Ruth, like I have said. So today's conversation is for parents who are tired of shouting, tired of bribing, tired of overgiving, and still wondering why their children are not owning their responsibilities. This is not a lecture, this is not guilt, this is clarity. So many parents have done everything, and yet these children are not complying. We have bribed, we have done everything, yet they will just stay on the sofa doing nothing. So today we are going to be seeing the 15 value-based motivations we can do so that they will just comply for themselves instead of you trying and struggling and flogging and yelling and doing everything, but they are not complying. Okay, so many parents are caught in between two questions: how do I motivate my child, and how do I do it without crossing boundaries? How do I motivate my child, and how will I do it without crossing boundaries? Okay, how do I do it without yelling? How do I do it without flogging? How do I do it without knocking? How do I make this child just comply now? So we are going to be seeing some things we can do. Okay, because when we don't know what to use, we overcompensate. We give because we can afford it. We rescue because it's faster. We shout because we are tired. Okay, when we don't know what to do, we yell, oh, thank you all, I see you all, thank you all for being here. So we overcompensate because we don't know the right thing to do. That is why you should join the Steward Tribe. In the Steward Tribe, we teach you what to do part time. You get clarity on your parenting. You get clarity that is transforming on this parenting journey. Okay, please book your slot and join the Steward Tribe so that you get all this clarity, and slowly motivation disappears. Today, I want to show you a better way. Okay, value-based motivation. Value-based motivation builds internal drive, not fear, not pressure, not reward dependency. Okay, value-based motivation is not about the outward motivation. It's not about fear. It's not about putting pressure on these children. It's about them doing it for themselves because they are self-motivated to do it. So we are going to be seeing the actions you can start doing now. The value-based motivation you can start sorry, you can start implementing now. Sorry, that you can start implementing immediately so that your children will just do it for themselves and not for you. Okay, so it answered a powerful question for a child: who am I becoming? Who am I becoming? So that is our goal. That is our goal as parents of the Equitable Parent Hub. Our goal as parents of the Equitable Parent Hub is for your child to be able to decide for themselves: who am I becoming? Not what should I be doing? Not other kind of question, but they are becoming for themselves, for who they are. Okay, so now, not just what will I get, or if I do this. Sometimes you tell your child to do something and say, what will you give me? If I take the trash out, what will I get? Imagine your child's responsibility. They will ask you, what will I get if I do it, or what will happen if I don't? That's what my daughter asked me. She asked me last week. She said, "Mommy, what will happen if I don't?" So all this, our children are going to try us. They are going to try. They are going to be testing boundaries. They are going to test it. So today we are going to be seeing what we should be doing. When motivation is reward-based, children perform only when rewards are present. So when you are trying to motivate them, you are giving them reward, you are flogging them, you are screaming, you are yelling, that's when they, because of fear or other stuff, they are going to comply. Okay? So when motivation is fear-based, children comply only when authority is present. Only when you are present, that's when the children will comply. Okay, when it is fear-based. So when motivation is value-based, children act when no one is even watching them. Even when no one is there watching them, because it is value-based, it is for themselves. They know who they are becoming, they know who they are. So they are building it based on who they are. Okay? So that is where value-based motivation comes from. So let me walk you through 15 value-based motivation actions parents can give their children instead of crossing boundaries, instead of slapping, instead of yelling, instead of knocking, instead of the conking that we do, instead of pinching and all of those stuff. Let us see 15 value-based motivation that we can start doing today instead of crossing boundaries or the negative boundaries, instead of crossing boundaries of our children. So now let's go into today's the heart of today's conversation. So affirm effort, not just results. Instead of only, okay, the first value is to affirm effort, not just results. So instead of only praising success, say, I notice how much effort you put into this. So we should affirm their efforts, not just results. So you see some parents, oh, they are very happy when their child comes first in class. But the time they come 10th position, or the time they made, maybe that time they came 10th position in that particular subject, they were the first in that subject, you will not see it. You will not see it. What you are just after is the results, the end result. You are not seeing their efforts. You are not seeing their struggle. You are not seeing anything. So instead of saying, just praising success, say, I notice how much effort you put into this. And you empower these children. You keep them motivated. Okay? So effort builds perseverance. When you show them that you see their effort, it builds perseverance. It builds confidence. It builds and teaches children to keep going. Okay, when you tell them that you see their effort, it teaches them that they should keep going, that what they are doing is a good thing. They should continue it. Okay, that's the first thing. We should praise efforts and not just results. Don't stop at just results. Oh, you came first last time. This time you give. What happened? What happened? It's good we ask those questions, but then you should also acknowledge their efforts. They're putting work. They're putting work. So you should also acknowledge their efforts. Praise them for their efforts through the term, through the session. Okay? So the second value-based motivation we can use is to connect actions to values. Connect actions to values. Instead of clean up now, say we clean up because we value responsibility. We clean up because we value responsibility. Value give meaning. Meaning sustains motivation. So value gives meaning. Meaning gives motivation. So try to attach your tasks to values. Okay, try to attach your tasks to value. Connect your tasks to actions to value. Your tasks to values. Don't just say, oh, do this now. Just do the just always giving orders, giving commands. But try to attach them to values. Tell them how responsible those tasks when accomplished makes them. Tell them how wise when they behave that way makes them. Okay, connect actions to values. Okay, the third one is to give meaningful choices. Say which option feels more responsible to you. Okay, choice builds ownership. Ownership builds motivation. So instead of saying, oh, can you just go and do this now? Give them two options. Would you want to do this now or you want to do the other one now? So that gives them motivation. So you don't have to cross boundary when you are giving this action-based, this value-based choice. So give meaningful choices. Instead of saying which option feels more responsible to you. Okay, choice builds ownership. When you give your children choice, it builds ownership. Ownership builds motivation. When you feel that you own this task, it is your duty, it is your job, it is your role, you will be motivated to do it because nobody will do it for you. Okay, it is your job to do it, to finish up your task. Okay, Then the fourth motivation we can use is to invite reflection after mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. You make mistakes. We make mistakes. Parents make mistakes. And your children are going to keep making mistakes because they are human beings. Okay? So invite reflection after those mistakes. Instead of shame, ask, what did you learn from this? Okay, so you did that. Oh, I'm going to put you live now on video. I'm going to show the whole world what you have done. Instead, you ask question, what did you learn from this? That way the child will be able to reflect. That child will be able to think back and then see what they should do better next time. What they should do better next time. So mistakes becomes teachers, not labels. You don't label them. No, so you that's how stubborn you are. I was talking to you the other time and you kept me quiet. You are a stubborn girl, you are a stubborn boy. So mistakes, we don't label them. Okay, instead we show them, hello, thank you for being here. So instead we let their mistake teach them. We make them reflect so that in reflection they'll be able to see their mistake and learn. Their mistake should be their teachers and not labels. You don't use labels to teach them. Okay, the fifth value-based action that we should start taking now to motivate our children instead of crossing boundary is model the values you teach. So enough of the do what I say and not what I do. So model it. That's the heavy part of parenting. We don't want to hold ourselves accountable. We just want to hold the next person accountable. We are just all over the child. You don't want to hold yourself. You don't want to model. You are there screaming. You are there doing everything wrong. But when your child do it, you get triggered. You get offended. So model it. Be what you want your child to be. And it will be very stress-free, okay? Model the values you teach. Children don't follow instructions. They follow examples. Your child will not follow just the instruction you are giving them. Your child will follow the example you are giving. Okay, apologize when wrong. Pause before reacting. Self-correct openly. Okay, stop trying to always right. Even when everybody has seen that you are wrong, you are still claiming that you were right. Okay, so apologize when you are wrong. Pause before reacting and self-correct openly. This is a powerful tool. This is a powerful tool that will help your child modeling, to model what you want to teach, to be what you want to teach, become what you want your child to become. That's why you need to transform yourself first. Parenting is about transformation. If not, all of us, we need this transformation. We need it. We need this transformation. So parents, you need to be transformed. You need to go for the healing work. You need to be in the steward tribe, okay? So go for the healing work. So the sixth thing you can do to make your child self-motivated to do their tasks, to do their jobs, to do what they need to do, instead of you screaming, instead of you yelling, is to use identity building language. Use identity building language. Instead, you can say something like, you are someone who keeps trying. You are learning how to be responsible. So that empower these children when you say things like that. When I say, oh, you are just a nuisance. I was okay. Somebody wrote something in the parenting community I belong to. Somebody said one woman calls her daughter. Okay, her name is the daughter's name is Kudi. So the mother will say, Kudi, koni da fun e o. So she did not know what it means. So the other day she needed to talk to the Kudi. So she went to the Kudi and said, Kudi, koni da fun e o. And the mother jumped out from the house and started insulting this lady and said she should never try it again. Meanwhile, the lady was just saying what she has always heard the mother of the girl saying. So we should use identity building language, not the language. We are the ones calling them stubborn, calling them liars, calling them thieves, calling them all the negative things. And those things are building identity in them. Yes, they are building identity in them. So, but that's why we should use identity building language. What you want to see, call it forth, okay? Call those things that you want in your child, call them forth. Use those identity building languages. Then the seventh thing we should do is to acknowledge emotions without rewarding misbehavior. Acknowledge emotions without rewarding misbehavior. So instead, when your child throws because your child is angry, the child will come and hit you, or they'll come and slap you, or they will start throwing things around. Okay, so that is negative behavior. That is bad behavior. Okay, so stop rewarding misbehavior. Instead, say, I see you are upset, let's solve this safely. Okay, emotions are allowed, but disrespect is not. Okay, throwing things around is not allowed. You don't throw things when you're angry, you don't hit when you're angry. Okay, so teach behaviors, acknowledge emotions, and then don't reward misbehaviors. Okay, acknowledge emotions, but don't reward misbehavior. Another value-based action we can start implementing now is to encourage contribution to the family. When your child contributes to the family, encourage it. Okay, don't be that parent that says he or she prefers one child to the other. All your children were given to you equally, so you should see all your children. That is equity. See your children, see your child for who they are, and not for the whatever attachment you place on one over the other. They all need you in the same measure. Okay, all your children need you in the same measure. So whatever anybody does, encourage them. Okay, tell them you see what they have done. Tell them you see their contribution to the family. Okay, encourage it. Give age appropriate responsibilities. Contribution builds belonging. When you allow your child contribute to the family, it shows them that they belong there. This is their space. This is their home. Okay, they take responsibility for it instead of you hitting. So encourage contribution. So they are resenting us because you are praising one other over the other. You say that one is dear to your heart. That one has a mumu button. Really? The other ones, because they are the one that encourage sibling rivalry. We encourage all those negative attitudes in the house. So, but we should do away with that and encourage contribution of everyone. Everyone needs to be acknowledged. I see you. I see who call their name and acknowledge their contribution. No matter what you think, acknowledge it. Then you can compliment about it, or you can comment about it later. But acknowledge, encourage contribution to the family. Then the ninth value-based motivation we can use instead of crossing boundary is to teach delayed gratification. Teach delayed gratification. It's not everything that it must be had that must be taken immediately. Okay, we can enjoy this after the task. Okay, so teach delay gratification. Self-control today creates leadership tomorrow. So all of this can only happen when you yourself as a parent can be able to do it. You cannot teach delayed gratification when you yourself, you cannot control yourself. You're always quick to yell, quick to hit, quick to bite, quick to pinch. Yes, we bite and we pinch now. So we cannot be teaching. We cannot model these things to our children if we don't control ourselves. Okay, so teach delay gratification. When you feel like hitting, when you feel like, what do you do? When you feel like yelling, when you feel like, what do you do? So teach self-control. Teach delay gratification by being that yourself, by being self-controlled yourself. Okay. So we are many. I saw 20 people that came live, and we have not liked this video. Please like this class, share the video, comment, tell me where you are watching me from. Okay, I don't bite. I can see you. Tell me where you are watching me from. Comment. I hope you are getting value from this class. I hope you are getting knowledge of what you can do instead of resorting to physical violence, instead of resorting to crossing boundaries that you're not supposed to cross. These are the values that you can, value-based values that you can use to motivate your children, okay, instead of crossing boundaries. Thank you all for being here. So now, self-control today creates leadership tomorrow. We should build ourselves so that we can be able to empower these our children. Empowerment comes when we have been empowered ourselves, when we can lead ourselves. So that is what parenting is about. Parenting is about leadership. It's about when you can lead yourself, then you can lead the next person. Okay? So I say like this video. I can see you all. You are here. Like this video. Subscribe to this channel. Join us in our growth journey. Be here, okay? Contribute in the comment section. I like to hear that. I like to know that I'm not alone. I can see you all. You are plenty that you're on the live stream with me. Please comment on this class. Tell me what you think about the class, okay? Add a Q&A sticker. Tell me about your opinions. I like to hear from you. So now the 10th value-based motivation we can use to motivate our children is to celebrate growth, not comparison. Like I've just said, all our children are uniquely themselves. They are uniquely themselves. So celebrate their growth for who they are, not comparison. Don't say, oh, when your sister was this age, she was not doing like this. Now, how come are you the only 5-year-old? Are you the only 10 years old? When your brother was this age, he was not doing like this. So don't compare. Instead, celebrate growth. When you celebrate their growth, you empower them. You tell them that they are seen. Okay, you encourage them. So celebrate growth and not comparison. Say you are better than you were yesterday. You are better than you were yesterday. It empowers our children. Okay. So comparison kills confidence. When you keep comparing, say, oh, you are this, you are this, you are that, it kills their confidence. It kills their confidence. Like this class, like this class, like this class. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Subscribe to this channel if you have not done so, and share our videos. Hi. That was not hi. You said a kiss, baby. So like this class, share the class, and then subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet. Okay, so comparison kills the confidence of our children. Instead, celebrate growth. Celebrate their growth, because growth builds confidence. It builds confidence when you tell them, oh, I can see you are growing, you did better than you did yesterday. It makes the child empowered. The child feels empowered, like, oh, so my mom or my dad, my parents see what I did, that means I can do better. The child suddenly feels empowered. Okay, so the 11th value-based motivation we can use to empower our children instead of crossing boundary is to say reinforce honesty even when it's hard. Reinforce honesty. Our children are going to lie. Yes, they are going to lie to us because they are growing, they are learning. So, but reinforce honesty even when it's hard. Say thank you for telling the truth. So, but when many of us, there was another random video, one viral video I saw too of a boy that's a very talented young boy that draws very well. But to his parents, according to him, it's either you come first, you come second, or you are ashamed. So they forced this boy into falsifying grades for himself. So instead of going home with what he got at the end of the term, he falsifies first or second on his report card, and his parents celebrate it. So that is not reinforcing honesty. So we are the one that will create the environment for our children to be able to be honest. So most of us, we create environments where they are forced to lie. We force them to say to be what we know that is not possible. Okay, so we can reinforce honesty instead by giving our children the space to be themselves, by giving them the space to be themselves, by giving them the space to relax and just be who they are. Okay, say thank you for telling the truth. Truth must feel safe to survive. Let your child feel safe that they have told the truth. Not that because they told you the truth today, tomorrow you use it against them. Tomorrow they will not be encouraged to tell you the truth. They will not be encouraged to tell you the truth tomorrow. So, but rather when they tell you the truth, make them feel safe. Make them feel safe. Not that, oh, they told you the truth, that's when you now start pouncing on them. Oh, so you actually did it. You now start flogging them or shaming them because they told you the truth. Tomorrow they will not do it again. That way you have not reinforced honesty. So, but our parenting should be able to reinforce and strengthen honesty. We should give room for our children to feel safe. Give room for our children to feel safe. Okay. So the 12 value-based motivation we can use instead of crossing boundary in our children is to set boundaries with explanation. Let your boundaries be explained. Say this rule keeps you safe. So understanding builds cooperation. When your child knows, okay, this is why this exists. This is why we should do this. This is why we should not say this. They understand you, and then they'll be able to cooperate with you. They'll be able to cooperate with you. Okay, so this rule keeps you safe. Tell your children, explain why the rule exists, and then encourage them. Okay, that way they will cooperate. They will cooperate instead of you jumping up and yelling and hitting and doing all the wrong thing, or giving them your phone to babysit them. You give them your phone, so yeah, go and sit down there. So that is still crossing boundaries. Okay, so let your screen time be scheduled, not just randomly, because you are overwhelmed, because you are tired, because you are angry, you give them your phone. That is not a healthy screen habit. It is not a healthy screen habit at all. Okay, so understanding builds cooperation. So another value-based motivation we can use instead of crossing boundary is to encourage problem solving, not rescue. Encourage problem solving, not rescue. Okay, this has happened. How do we come out of this now? So encourage problem solving, not you are just jumping. You are the helicopter parents. You are always alert. You are always at alert. You are trying to solve the problem for them. Okay, that way you are crossing boundary. That way you are crossing boundary. Yes, vague expectation leads to confusion and resistance. Yes, when you just expect them, you've not told them anything. You just have vague expectation. They are confused and they will resist you. They will resist you. Thank you so much, Ma. So that's when your expectation, your expectation is not defined. It's not these children are confused. They are just hearing noise instead of hearing the instruction that you want to give to them. So let your expectation be clear. Let your expectation be clear. You should be predictable. Let your actions be predictable. Not that today you are keeping the rules, tomorrow you are breaking them, tomorrow you are all over the place. That is not a value-based motivation. You are not motivating them by being sporadic, okay? By being spontaneous. Be firm, let your actions be predictable in your parenting, be predictable in your parenting. I said encourage problem solving, not rescue. You are not the helicopter parents. You are always jumping into the space. This is a time, a learning time for your child. Something happens, okay, this is a teaching moment for you to teach them. You just jump into the space and then the child did not even know what happened. The child cannot give the child reflection time to think. Child cannot even say anything that happened because you took the space, you took the shine. So that is what we should be doing. We should give our children the space to solve problems and stop rescuing them from every problem. Stop rescuing your child from every problem. Give them the space to be themselves. Let them do tasks themselves. Let them solve problems themselves. Okay, instead of you just jumping into the space, you want to solve everything. Just want a soft life for them. That way, you are making your child. You are making your child not strong. You are making them weak. Yes, you are making them weak. So all these children are capable children. If we can only hold ourselves to the task of building ourselves so that we can build them. Okay, our children are not weak children. They are not. So stop making them weak by always trying to problem solve their tasks, by always trying to solve their problems. Let them do tasks for themselves. Okay? Let your child be able to do chores around the house. You have helps around everywhere, but they cannot. Let your child help in the house. Let your child take on responsibility. When there's a problem, let your child be able to suggest solutions. Let them be able to suggest solutions to the problem. Instead of you just jumping into the space, you want to solve every problem. Let your child do age appropriate solutions. Okay, so what do you think would help? That's a good question to ask your child, and that way your child would think and come up with a good solution. Your child will think and come up with a good solution. When you ask that question, what do you think would be able to help? Okay, rescuing creates dependence. So that's what I say. When we keep rescuing, we make our children weak. They become dependent, and that's how they will grow up and become dependent adults. They will depend, and they will keep entering they'll keep bonding with traumatic people, because we have built them that way. We have built them to be weak people, so they would automatically be attractive to people that are. They will automatically just be naturally attractive to people that will use them, people that would not value them. So, but when we start early to give them the space to build skills, to solve their own problems, that way they can stand for themselves. Okay, so rescuing creates dependence, problem solving creates confidence. So stop being the helicopter parent, stop hovering around the place. You're just going around every time. You are there every time. You are always there without content. You're not teaching anything, but you're just rescuing. You're busy bailing. You're busy bailing out, rescuing. You're not teaching anything. You're not saying anything. You're just going all over the place, hitting and rescuing. That is not the kind of parents that we should be as the parents of the Equitable Parent Hub. We should not be the helicopter parent that just goes around trying to solve all the problems of our children. Let them be able to solve age-appropriate tasks for themselves. Let them be able to do household chores in the house. Okay? So problem solving creates confidence. Your child will be confident to face the world. They'll feel empowered, okay, to face the world. But when you are just all over the space, you rescue them, and then you create dependency for them. They become dependent on others. They cannot make choices for themselves. They cannot make decisions. They will need you. They're always needing you. Oh, daddy, what do you think? Oh, mommy, what do you think should happen now? Meanwhile, these are full-grown adults. So let your child solve problems for themselves. Okay, so decide today that you are going to allow your children to solve problems for themselves. Now, the 14th, I said we have 15 value-based motivation. We can use actions that we can use to motivate our children instead of crossing boundaries. So the 14th value-based motivation we can use is to recognize character in daily moments. Okay, when your child do things, recognize the character in the daily moment. You're not seeing anything good about them. You've never caught them doing good. So instead of just not parenting is seed time. So parenting every day you should be seeking to plant seed. Because tomorrow you will have the harvest when these children become adults. Parenting is seed time. So plant this seed continuously every day. It's a daily act. Parenting is a daily act. So recognize character in daily moments. Say that was kind. So not that you say that was kind today, tomorrow you will not say anything again. You just be there, you just sit down like statue. So you say that was kind today, tomorrow you still say that was thoughtful, that was responsible. Okay, that was honesty. I'm so glad you chose to be honest despite how you feel. I'm so glad you are courageous despite how you felt. So recognize character in your children, recognize and call out those characters, and then you empower them when you call those characters out. And those character grows when it is seen. When you tell your child that I am happy, I am proud that you were honest despite what happened. You chose to be courageous despite the situation. You make your child empowered. You make your child feel seen, and their character will grow. Okay, their character will grow because they know that their parents see what they do. Okay, that way their character will grow. They'll keep growing. I said parenting is seed time. It's seed time. We are always planting seeds. Okay, that healing, that yelling, that hitting, that flogging, it is seed time. Those are seeds you are sowing. You are sowing seeds on these children. Whatever you are doing, you are sowing seeds. When you are kind, when you choose to extend grace, when you choose to extend tough love, you are always sarcastic. You are also sowing seed. Yes, you are also sowing seed. They are all seed time. Parenting is seed time. So say these things daily. Okay, recognize character daily. Okay, and the last value-based motivation we can use on our children is to end correction with reassurance. End correction with reassurance. Say, I believe you can do better next time. Hope keeps motivation alive. So when we correct, we just say anything from our mouth. We just say anything because we feel that these are small children now. They are not small children. No. They will not be small forever. Just give them a few years time now. They will be dragging heights with you. So they will not be small forever. Okay? So reassure them. Reassure them because they will grow up. So parenting is seed time. What seed are you sowing? What seed are you sowing? These children are receiving all the seed you are throwing to them. So now parents, when motivation is value-based, children don't need fear to behave. They don't need you to be shouting, oh, go, 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 go. You are just all over the place. They don't need it. They don't need it to be able to behave. They can lead themselves because they have seen you leading yourself. You've been able to lead yourself. That's why you should join the steward tribe, okay? Children don't need fear to behave. They develop inner discipline. When you do all of these 15 value-based actions, this 15 value-based motivation, they'll be able to lead themselves, use their develop their inner discipline. They respect boundaries. They act with integrity. They'll be able to act with integrity. Okay, this is how we raise children who do the right thing even when no one is watching. So that is our goal. We should be able to do better for the next generation. We should be able to raise children who can act for themselves, who can act for who they are becoming. So that is why we should go first by modeling it for these children. Okay? Even when no one is watching, they can be able to do it. So let me ask you, let me hear from you in the comment section. Tell me, which of these is hardest for you right now? Where do you feel you have overcompensated before? Which of these 15 value-based motivation do you think is hard for you right now, and where do you think you've overcompensated before? Okay, where do you think you have overcompensated before, and which of these 15 values do you think is hard? Which of the 15 values do you think is hard? Is it reassuring your child after correction? Is it reassuring them of your seeing them, that you see them when they contribute to the family? Which of them is hard for you? Okay, this brings us to the close of today's class. Okay, so that's why we should join the Steward Tribe. In the Steward Tribe, we lead, we give you all of these tools to be able to, we give you these tools so that you can help your children lead themselves, motivate themselves without you crossing boundaries, without you having to knock them, without you having to flog them. Okay, you won't need to ever do that again because of what you will learn, because of what you will know. Okay, so parenting this way requires growth. It requires support and structure. So that is why the Steward Tribe exists. Parenting with value-based motivation requires growth, support, and that is why the Steward Tribe exists. Okay, so inside the Steward Tribe, we help parents regulate themselves, correct without shame. We are going to make mistake, and then we can correct and reset and go back to being the awesome parents we are. Even after making mistake, we are going to continue being the awesome parents that we are to these children. So motivate without bribing. We don't need to bribe our children to do their house chores. We don't need to tell the child, oh, take this trash. They say, how much will you pay me? They don't need that, because they know that it's their responsibility. It is their duty to take care of their home. Okay, so this is all the things you will learn in the Steward tribe. Set boundaries without clarity. Oh, set boundaries with clarity. Sorry, you'll be able to set boundaries with clarity. Yes, and raise emotionally secure children. You don't have to figure this out alone. Join the Steward tribe. Join the Steward tribe. Okay, so parents, children don't need perfect parents. They need intentional, conscious parents. They need conscious parents. Parents that are growing. Parents that are aware. Some of us, you tell us, oh, you did not see that. You say, ah, I did not see it. Oh, you mean he did that? Yes, he actually did that. So when you start learning parenting, you'll be mindful of every action in your parenting journey. You'll be mindful. You become aware. You become a conscious parent. Okay. So who we are willing to grow? So who are willing to grow? We become conscious parents who are willing to grow. So that is it for today's conversation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Sahikare. Thank you, Marcus. And thank you, my number one fan. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I really celebrate you. Thank you so much for showing up today. See you next Wednesday again. Okay, we are having another class this week on Friday. So see you on Friday. Bye-bye. You've not liked and subscribed to the class, please like and subscribe and share our video. Bye.